Well, welcome everyone to the first Bristol Bras podcast. We would like to thank the First Presbyterian Church in Bristol, Tennessee for facilitating our podcasts. And we would like to invite all of you to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing a little bit about BRA, Breast Cancer Recovery in Action. Some of the individual journeys from some of the BRA members, as well as my own journey in BRA. I am Beverly McGee, and here with me today, I have a few friends and other members of this elite group that we call BRA. It's both a blessing and a curse because we are all survivors of breast cancer.
Hi, my name is Helga Turner, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. So in October of this year, I will have been cancer-free for 3 years.
Woohoo!
And my name is Lenore Colhoun, and I was diagnosed 18 months ago and just recently finished my treatments. And yes, cancer-free and ready to move on ahead.
Woohoo!
My name is Kelly Moran, and I was diagnosed literally I got the phone call 2 years ago to today, and will have been a survivor for about 18 months.
Woohoo! I didn't mention my part. This is Bev back again. And I was diagnosed in 2016 in September. Went through treatment in 2017 and was able to reach out to a group in Middle Tennessee that was very much like BRA, where it is a mind, body, and spirit recovery group for those having gone through the journey of breast cancer. Really, at every stage and in every season, we are a support group. We have specific classes available. We offer fitness classes, nutrition classes, and also a small group book study where we look back at our journey and realize all of the changes that have occurred since our diagnoses. And it helps us, as Lenore was saying, to move forward, because as we were talking just before the broadcast, you know, you get to a certain point after you've gone to 9-11 doctor's appointments. That's my favorite number, by the way. You've gone to 9-11 doctor's appointments and to this oncologist and to this radiologist and to this surgeon. And you come out, 6 months later, 8 months later, a very changed person. And then you don't know where to turn because you have been on autopilot just trying to get her done. Another one of my favorite phrases. So many of us, even though our journeys have been so different, have had very similar experiences, mind, body, and spirit. Our founder, Miss Nancy Brown, she is actually from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, so she is from here local, but she lives in Middle Tennessee now. And when she was first diagnosed, she had young children. And so she made a promise to God that if he would get her through this so that she could raise her children, that she was going to do all that she could to help others make it through their journey. So what we want to do today is we just want to share a few of our thoughts, a few of our missions, and also a little bit about each of our individual journeys and how BRA has helped us individually. So first, I want to turn to Miss Helga and hear from her, please.
All righty. Well, my cancer journey began on a Tuesday in September, right after my 53rd birthday in 2021. I was diagnosed with double positive invasive ductal carcinoma. In October of that year, I had a bilateral mastectomy. And the following year in January, I had a full hysterectomy. By February, I was starting my reconstruction journey, and I had my first surgery to insert the expanders. In April of 22, I started taking an AI to lower my chances of recurrence. And by August of 2022, I actually had my second reconstruction surgery and had my implants. Yay! I have one more surgery left, the nipple reconstruction, and I have decided to schedule it when I'm ready, on my terms and on my time, because cancer took that away from me, so I'm taking it back. So how did I come to BRA? One of my good friends realized my struggle and urged me to find a group who would really understand what I was going through and how my life had changed after my diagnosis. She is an amazing and supportive friend, but she could never understand what I was going through. And so I started researching breast cancer groups on the internet in 2023 and came across BRA. I liked the information on their website and the fact that they helped women in different ways throughout the entire process of dealing with a cancer diagnosis. So I signed up for some informative emails, and I signed up for the online nutrition class, which was an amazing 6-week experience led by a certified dietitian, and it's geared towards nutrition for survivors. We shared information, recipes, websites, apps, and just so much more. During this time, I had also been contacted by our wonderful and fearless leader, Beverly, and she told me about a new journey class she was starting, and I decided to join. I had no idea what I was in for. I was so scared and nervous during our first meeting. But as the meetings progressed, I realized I had felt like I was on a runaway roller coaster until I came to BRA in that journey class. I had been on autopilot for 2 years, and I wanted to get off the ride. BRA allowed me to stop thinking about tests and scans and doctor's appointments, and I really started thinking about what I really needed, both spiritually and emotionally. I had already dealt with the physical aspect. I had already taken all of those steps, but I really needed something spiritually and emotionally in my journey. This journey class really helped me. I needed to stop, take a breath, and deal and just be. It was the most nerve-wracking and most amazing experience. And for me, Journey was an open, safe, and confidential environment without judgment, with support from women on different journeys, but one commonality: breast cancer. It was a wonderful feeling to know how others relate to how I was feeling and to what I was going through. And at BRA, I found what I was looking for. Others understood my fears, my frustrations, my anger, all of the emotions I had been feeling since my diagnosis. And I felt peace. Wonderful new friendships, and participating in some of the amazing programs that they offer.
Yay.
Wow. Thank you, Helga.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As she stated so eloquently, we have all been on different journeys, but we share that one commonality, and we have all heard that diagnosis of malignant, or you have cancer, or however the doctor phrased it. And that part was all the same for all of us. It's a very special thing to be able to share that with others. I also want to just explain a few of the things that she mentioned. She mentioned taking the AIs. Those are aromatase inhibitors. Those are the wonderful pills that we all have to take that keep our bodies from producing any estrogen. So they're just wonderful with lots and lots of side effects, and all of us have experienced that as well. Thank you again, Helga, for sharing
You're
yourself
welcome.
and your journey.
And thank you for this group.
Absolutely. We're all that appreciative. Now we'll turn the mic over to Miss Kelly Moran. Kelly and I have walked the walk since the beginning together.
Yes.
So we have a year under our belt now, Kelly.
Yes, we sure do.
Wow. It was a year ago.
It was a year ago.
It was a
that we
year
met.
ago.
Yeah.
I feel like you have been my sister for 100 years. That's another thing the program gives us,
It
right?
sure does. It sure does.
So, Kelly, would you share a little bit about your journey with
I
us?
sure will. So my journey started with genetic testing, and a genetic mutation was discovered in my family. Actually, that tracked back to pancreatic cancer, and it trickled down to me, and I discovered I actually had this mutation. And among other types of cancers, it made my risk for breast cancer significantly higher. So my genetic counselor suggested that I schedule an ultrasound just to be on the safe side. And yay, they found cancer. So that was exactly 2 years ago today that I got the call that I actually had cancer. So I really didn't expect it, but there it was. So my journey certainly is one of those that underscores the importance of getting genetic testing because it does empower you with information and promotes that early detection that we all talk about as being so critical to your longevity and your outcomes. So then going back over a decade, I should mention that my mother had breast cancer, and she was diagnosed with inflammatory breast cancer, which was the first time I ever learned that there are all different types of breast cancers. There is not one size that fits all. So anyway, I had been with Mom through her treatment, her recovery, all of her post-recovery trips to Knoxville, which is where her doctors were located. So I was very fortunate to already have a medical team in place when I got my diagnosis, that I was familiar with them and I trusted them. So, however, it was very surreal to be making those trips to Knoxville with my mother, now with me as the patient and her as the driver. So with that family history and the genetic predisposition, my doctors recommended that I have the bilateral mastectomy. So that's what I did. And then due to the type of breast cancer I had, I did not have, there was no additional benefit to me doing chemotherapy. So I ended up not doing chemotherapy, but I do take those lovely anti-estrogen pills. And since then, I have had breast reconstruction. And that's sort of the medical portion of my journey. But during all that, my husband heard a promotional news piece on bra and really encouraged me to look into it. So I went online and started doing some research, and I found bra, and I found a contact information for Bev, and reached out, and that's how I met all these amazing ladies. And bra provides so much, as Helga was talking about. There is the nutrition component, the journey component, which I call group therapy, and the physical part that are our classes that we take that are sort of yoga centric for the fitness, and that has been huge for me in both my physical health in terms of recovery and also my mental health, because it's another thing that Journey and Bra have helped with is that mental aspect of all of this. It's so challenging, and it goes on long after all of the doctor's appointments are done and everything's over, and then you're kind of left going, now what? And it weighs really heavily on you. So it was just a real blessing for me to meet other people who could relate to that and could relate to what I was going through. Friends and family were just wonderful during everything, but there's nothing quite like sharing the experience with people that actually know what you've been through. So for me, the camaraderie, the friendships, and the love that we all share has been just the most important and invaluable part for me. So I'll be forever grateful to Bev for bringing this great organization to Bristol. And I hope that the listeners out there never need us, but what a resource if you do.
We're here.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Hope you don't, but if you do, that's
But
a
if you
great
do.
way to
Yes.
put it.
We're here.
We welcome you. Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. Pretty amazing journey that we have lived. With the mention of the yoga class, I have to mention our wonderful leader there, too. Victoria Hansen has been with us all along. She just sort of took the reins, and she has not only been our yoga instructor, but she has become one of our sisters, even though she is not a survivor. She's continued to do research and find out best practices and help us along the journey. We all have our bottles of olive oil now because that's one of the newest research topics that we're supposed to use olive oil for everything. So take that along with early detection as well. Guys, I also want to give a shout out several times within the broadcast to the First Presbyterian Church here in Bristol, Tennessee. The First Presbyterian Church is who is facilitating this broadcast for you. They have become my home church since I moved here in 21. Everybody is just amazing, and they are so supportive of the BRA program as well as so many other community programs. So big shout out and thank you to First Presbyterian Church. Also wanted to mention that the Slater Center in Bristol is they have partnered with us, and that's where we are having our exercise classes. Along with that, it's time to hear from Lenore, and Lenore has been representing lately because she has been representing with Ballad Health and ETSU and been quite the spokesperson lately for breast cancer in general. Mm-hmm. But now we want you to talk about BRA and tell us how wonderful that is, too, okay?
Well, wonderful is the word to describe it. And I'm actually going to start off by saying that I never really considered myself a counseling kind of person until something big happened in my life, and I felt like, I think I need a counselor. And now I'm a counseling person. And it's the same way with a support group. I was like, I'm not going to a support group. What am I going to get out of it? And then I came. And oh my goodness, now I am a support group person. So, you can never say never. So, but I'm going to back up a little bit to where it started with me. About 18 months ago, I got that awful call that we have found your mammogram to be suspicious. And it was a couple of weeks till I could get a biopsy to confirm that. And in that time frame, every single time I turned on the radio, every single time my phone music turned on, or I would switch stations in the, listening to the radio in the car, there would be a song about storms. And I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like storms. I was mad. I was sad. I was talking to God a lot. But eventually I came to the point where I accepted that I was heading into a storm. I felt like God was saying, look, you got a storm coming. And I couldn't control it. I couldn't stop it. None of us get to pick our storms. I couldn't get away from it. I just had to go through it. So here I am with breast cancer, and our nearest family is 8 hours away. And I will be forever grateful for the friends that came out of the woodwork to support my husband and my daughters and just my family in so many ways. During surgery, during 12 weeks of chemotherapy, they helped us weather this storm of cancer treatment. And chemo was by and far the worst part of the storm. But when it came to an end, so did a lot of the support. And that was okay because our needs were changing. And I started to look around and I realized that this storm, like most storms, had left a lot of damage in its wake. We don't get to go through storms unscathed. I was physically beaten down. I was an emotional wreck. I had 11 more months of immunotherapy treatment to face. And thankfully, that's not as bad as chemo, but still, those treatments weren't easy. And I was just overwhelmed. And then I learned about bra when I started looking for a trainer who could help me regain some of the strength that I had lost. And one of the trainers that I talked to told me about bra. She had heard about it. I'm not sure how she learned about it, but I was glad that they all talked to each other. So, and for me, bra was a way to take back control over my life that I had lost the day I was diagnosed. And I went to my first bra exercise class just a month after chemo ended. I was weak. I didn't have the strength to climb a flight of stairs, but I could move and I could stretch, and I did. And I met these awesome ladies. And I've continued to exercise multiple days every week, and I've added weights, and now I go for hikes, and I've come a long way. Exercise has brought me a long way. It's such an important aspect of recovery. So it's been instrumental. And these ladies knew and could understand why I was so excited the day that I told them that I could do 4 push-ups. They cheered just like this. But until you've been through it, you don't realize, you don't understand. So to be able to share that camaraderie, as Kelly said it, that's a very good word for it. So anyway, the other thing that I realized very quickly, I know myself, I needed people. I needed people to help me get through the next steps of my cancer journey, pick up the pieces from the storm and start to rebuild my life. And it was funny because that very first journey meeting, the support group one, when we all introduced ourselves, I quickly learned that I was surrounded by introverts. And I am a seasoned extrovert. I need people. But I am so grateful that these ladies got out of their comfort zone to come to these meetings. And I think we all learned so much from one another. We all had different treatments, but we all had the same diagnosis. We shared, we supported, we grew together. We learned so much about each other. I learned so much about myself, listening to them tell their stories and share their struggles. We walked through the grief process together. I mourned my old life. It doesn't exist anymore. That level of loss can be catastrophic. And I couldn't just pick up where I left off. There was nothing left. So I had to rebuild. And this journey support group helped me in that rebuilding. And part of what I realized through that was that I didn't have to just accept my new life, but I could embrace it. And that was important to me. So, and then I want to touch on the nutrition as well, because there's so many other aspects. It's about exercise, it's about the support, the nutrition class, so many things I had never thought about. I ate mostly healthy, I exercised some, but the nutrition class was so informative in a way that was very focused towards my body's needs. It helped me to make wiser food choices for my body. It's been fun to try new recipes. I feel stronger. I feel so much better, and I'm glad about that. And I want to add one more thing. There's something called Bra Banter, which is once a month they have, what would you call it?
Zoom meetings.
A Zoom meeting, thank you.
With a professional.
Yeah, with medical professionals. And they are
Guest
always,
speaker.
they are always immensely educational and a great source to learn new information. I've learned some really helpful things through Bra Banter. So overall, I would say Bra has helped me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, nutritionally, and of course with education. It's just all around a great program, and I feel so lucky to have found it and to be a part of it.
Wow. Thank you, Lenore. And as you have probably figured out, it helps you to hear from others. So we thank you for listening in today. We also want to thank the First Presbyterian Church in Bristol, Tennessee as well. I want to personally thank my buddy Dave Williams because he has facilitated the audio for this podcast today. Possibly next time we will add video, but audio was a great place to start. We want to thank you for joining us. And in order to receive more information and in order to receive more camaraderie and to feel that feel-good feeling that bra seems to give away, we invite you to stay tuned in the same place where you hear podcasts, because there will be future podcasts from Bristol Bras. This is merely the first. We also like to leave you with a little something to chew on. So as we leave, a little bit of information. 100% of breast cancer detected early is now treatable. If you make sure that you go for early detection, then it is much better to mammogram your boobs than to Instagram them. Hey guys, Bev McGee here again from BRA, Breast Cancer Recovery in Action. Be sure to look for future episodes where you get your podcasts. Also, don't forget to tell your friends.